Okay, time for another one. This is number 3, but before I get into that, I want to show you a little something here. This is a little booklet that was in another box which I missed. It's a set of 24 articles that I wrote when I first became a real estate agent. And I'm actually quite proud of this. I gave these out to prospective clients. Um, I thought it was a good exercise for me as well, just to sort of get used to, basically settle what it was I was going to talk about, how I felt about things, how I wanted to present things, and so on. Anyway, let's get on with this. By the way, I was a real estate agent. I got my license, I think, in 2003. I then got a broker's license later on. So I was only an agent for a few years, really. And I also did a little bit of escrow type stuff. I think this box is mostly books. I've decided to just sort of stick to the books while I'm doing them because it's a lot easier to put things away when it's all the same stuff. But obviously there's some other stuff in here, and it looks like some really interesting and important stuff. All right. And I say that because the very first thing I see is my teddy bear when I was a kid. It's not a very cuddly teddy bear, I have to say. The fur is kind of spiky and feels like it's stuffed with sawdust. But yeah, obviously a lot of personal memories. Well, I can't even say memories, but it's obviously a part of my life. Let's see, t-shirts, mostly, I think, yeah, nothing especially interesting. Just looking to see, there might be some furry t-shirts. Oh, that's a nice purple t-shirt, good to have. Feels like there's a camera in here. Oh, this actually is something that I made. It seems that this box is a lot of personal stuff. I made this in the boys club in Mount Kisco, I think, when I was probably like, must have been a teenager because I was into cameras at that point, and I thought, oh, I'll make myself a little clay camera. So yeah. Oh, this t-shirt is one of several that I have by an artist named Freddie Bear. And they work in collage. A lot of the sources are 19th century, late 19th century, a lot of Gustave Doré, as I remember. And I remember seeing them cutting up these old books to make these, and of course a lot of photocopying. And they really are beautiful. I mean, no shade at all, but it killed me to watch them cut up these books. It just did. I wonder if these are known. They were also very active in the anarchist scene and did a lot of work for Fact Sheet 5 and some anarchist publications. Fact Sheet 5, well, look it up. All right, I think most of this box is actually personal stuff, and I say that because these are my books. These are books that I wrote. They did okay. I mean, I got paid by advance. They didn't make any real money, but I was quite proud of how these turned out. This was 2008, I think. So lots of those. Let's see what else we got. Old tapes. What are they? So I was involved in an anti-spam organization that I started, and we did a conference in 2001. It looks like we got some TV coverage. I should probably watch that sometime. What's this? Unlabeled? Oh. Huh. Wow. I honestly don't know what's on this thing. I should probably check that out sometime. I'll have to find a VHS player. I think that one of these, this says Creme Brulee. Creme Brulee was a band that I was in with my partner at the time. We were together 98 to 2000, 99 to 2003, something like that. So obviously a tape exists of us playing. We played Great American Songbook standards. Oh, this was me on leading a talk at the Silicon Valley Association of Software Entrepreneurs. Man, this would be interesting stuff to watch now. We're talking like, 25 years later. This was me on Silicon Spin, which was a TV show on Tech TV. Let's see, it was 2002, so it was probably about anti-spam stuff. This is actually a very dense box, I can see now, dense full of stuff from my personal life. So I'm going to take a little bit of time with this because there's a lot in here. Anybody want one of these books? I have a whole bunch of them. The book I don't have as much of is Bisexuality, a Reader and Source Book, which was from 1990. So, yeah. Beginning of an essay I wrote. I don't really want to go too much into it because, I don't know, it's probably embarrassing. Wow, a lot of old writing I did. 1987, this was my report from the March on Washington, and I believe this was published in the Cincinnati Nouveau, which was run by my friend Ed Hicks. Yeah, I wrote a couple of articles for him, and I think he printed them because what the hell. This is a wild, oh man, I am not going to show you this because I'm actually embarrassed about some of my earlier writings. I wrote something that was like I'm not even going to show you the cover. I was trying to, I don't know, figure out life, and I wrote basically what I thought life was about when I was 18 or 19, and it's super emo, as you could imagine. Wow. Basically, my first year in college, I was attempting a lot of, like, I'm going to keep it blurry. I was attempting a lot of poetry and very experimental style writing. And I'm embarrassed about it, honestly. I mean, I'm embarrassed in a way. I don't want to read it. I also do want to read it. And what impresses me, actually, is how prolific it is. This is what I did. I just went into a room and I bled on the page, as much as I could. And I was trying to get things going. I thought, oh, this will be a play. This will be a movie. This was high school, actually. And it was a book report on Zorba the Greek, and I went way beyond the assignment, talking about difficult events in my life and how they related to the movie. And I still remember that, I think it was shown around in the teacher's room, and I remember the teacher, Mr. Dicker, I think, maybe. I love it. Yeah, well. Wow, this is like the stuff, the original stuff. And it's all kind of difficult for me to face. Well, maybe it's about time I do. Here's another recording of me on Silicon Spin. The dot-com boom. There's a recording of me in the Fantastics in high school. I decided I wanted to do it, so I went to the school. They gave me some money and a stage, and I did it. I played El Gallo, who was the narrator. Early recordings of music from college. Oh, this is all old school work, and I'm not going to go through it, but yeah. We're talking 1988 mostly, that sort of period. And here is a bunch of articles I did for Macweek magazine, either before I was an editor there or while I was an editor there. Just taking a quick look. I show up on the masthead in here. I don't have to go through them all, but basically I saved all the ones where I had an article in them. I also edited the reviews. So, for example, I'm looking for a review here. 27. Yeah, the ads are great, of course. Well, I don't have to go into it, but I edited a whole bunch of reviews. And finally, well, there's two things in here. One of them is a tape, another appearance on camera from Tech TV. And then this little thing, wow. I digitized this already, but this is a family film I took when I was 20. I had a regular 8 camera, probably one of the ones that you already saw me unpack, and just held on to it, never got it processed, and then finally had it processed. And it came out looking terrible, of course. It's all grainy, you can barely see anything. But you can see my niece and nephew as babies, and me at 20, and my brother at 23. And actually, I think that there were some things in there from before that, from like when I was a teenager. So basically, what you've seen here is the oldest and in some senses most difficult box for me to unpack and for me to actually face. I mean, unpacking was easy, but knowing that this stuff exists and knowing where it is going to be a challenge.